I was looking at strength of schedule, came out yesterday, and the Bears have the number one strength of schedule. And the headline I read this morning, for all 32 teams, Bears facing possible collapse. Let me give you strength of schedule 1 year ago. Let's see who was near the top on that one. Look, the Bears were second and were the most improved team in the league, not called the Patriots. Folks, if you have a brilliant head coach and a superstar quarterback talent, schedule does not mean that much. I'll give you an example. The Kansas City Chiefs had Mahomes and Andy Reid. Sean Payton entered their division. So did Jim Harbaugh. They won 15 games, got to a Super Bowl, and that was against the first place schedule. If you go back 2 years ago, you know who had the third easiest schedule? The Bears. But they were a tire fire. They were a dumpster fire because of the coaching situation. So schedule matters to average teams or slightly below average teams or slightly above average teams. That's where schedule matters. I'll give you two teams that I think will benefit greatly from an easy schedule this year. One of them is Cincinnati. They have a great quarterback and a great number one receiver, but a pretty average roster. But they have one of the easiest schedules. And if you start looking at who they play, well, what do you know? Cincinnati plays a lot of rebuilding teams, go either way games. Joe Burrow, with an offensive coach I like more than others, is going to win some close go either way games. The other is Detroit. Okay, Detroit's got an above average roster, but it's not the Rams, it's not the Seahawks, it's not the Eagles, it may not be Buffalo, but it's above average. They solved their left tackle issue in the draft. Jared Goff is very good. Go look at who the Detroit Lions face this year. It is made to order. Jets, Saints, Titans, Arizona, Miami. Rebuilding teams, not necessarily great at quarterback. So Cincinnati and Detroit, I think, one with an average roster, one that's above average, but not a great team, Detroit. OC improves, a lot of weak opponents, solved their left tackle issue in the draft. Detroit's going to be a playoff team. And the other thing, again, schedules don't really matter for great teams or awful teams. It doesn't matter who the Jets play or Arizona, and it doesn't really matter who the Rams play or the Seahawks.
All right, let's talk about the Chicago Bears right now. I think, about their schedule, the strength of schedule, and all of that. I already mentioned to you guys the other day that the strength of schedule at this point in the NFL season means incredibly little to me, and I want to expand on that. So the idea that people are saying the Bears are on the verge of collapse or something like that is absolute insanity to me. I mean, I can't even fathom it. Talk about trying to just get people to read an article or watch a video. I mean, I guess it's May, I suppose it's May. But before I go any further, please, Chicago Bears fans, do not forget to subscribe and watch the full length of the video. When you guys do that, views go through the roof. Subscribers go through the roof. And it's not about chasing views. It's not about chasing subscribers. It's about creating Chicago Bears content that people genuinely want to watch and discuss so we can keep having the most grounded, unbiased, honest discussions about the Bears. I'm trying so hard, and right now this spring-summer off-season has really been incredible. I mean, honestly, this has been one of the best off-seasons ever that I can remember. And it's because you guys all keep showing up, and I'm telling you, we are building something really special. So when you guys watch the video and subscribe at the same time, it goes such an incredibly long way. T made a Bears video, I think it was literally just yesterday. That video has got like 10,000 views and like 100 subscribers. And the conversations in the comment section are just amazing. It's awesome. And I want to be able to have this thing even larger and more rooted by the time the season starts, right? That's really my objective for this off-season right now. So come September, it's just an absolute party. I plan on live streaming way more than I even did last season. So it's all part of trying to really create a special experience, and I really think we're doing that. But the other funny thing, I have to share this for Chicago Bears fans. I think you'll appreciate this. I made a Seahawks video, and we were trying to figure out what the best matchup for the Seahawks is, talking about what the NFL considers entertainment, what moves the needle. And I said, well, it's got to be the Chicago Bears because they have such a massive fan base, such a massive media market, and that's not what the Seattle Seahawks quite have. And I got such pushback on that. Such pushback. I'm like, I'm not insulting Seattle Seahawks fans. They said, we outnumbered the Patriots like 7-1 in the Super Bowl. I'm like, that has nothing to do with anything. First off, you can just drive to where the Super Bowl is. Meanwhile, New England had to fly across the country. That's a little different. But again, I'm not knocking the fans. I love Seahawks fans. I had nothing to do with that. I'm just talking about sheer size. They said, well, we've got Canada and this. I'm like, oh, man. Canada. I'm like, guys, Chicago is a massive media market. It is a massive market with a massive fan base. And they said, over these last few years, we have better merch sales. I'm like, yeah, because the Chicago Bears have done nothing for years. That's why times are changing. The moment the Chicago Bears become a consistent competitive team, they will be one of the most watched, most media-frenzied teams in the NFL. It's just a fact. It is a massive city in a massive media market. That's the reality. We can't debate that. We can't. Just last year, when nobody was sure what was going to happen with the Bears, they had more primetime games than a team like the Seattle Seahawks. And that number is only going to get higher and higher. So people were really working overtime to try to argue that. And I'm like, guys, what are we even talking about? We'll get more views for Packers Bears than for Rams Seahawks, right? So yeah, you're going to see, and with that, you're going to see a lot of crazy takes about the Bears. And I said this to you guys years ago when Caleb first got drafted. I said, everyone is so thirsty for Bears content, and that's why we got crazy takes like the Bears are going to the Super Bowl and Caleb is the MVP. And it was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then we got the opposite, the Bears are on the verge of collapse. Caleb Williams is going to get bench. Edition. You're going to get exposed to so many extreme takes. That's what happens. You've got people who want to bend the knee and say, the Bears are the best team ever. They're amazing. They're amazing. Because they think, come on, Bears fans, come on, be on my side. And then you've got other people who just want to attack the Bears, no, they're not good. They're overrated, etc. And it's really hard to work your way through it. And we've been seeing that from the start. Caleb is a bust. He's terrible. What is Ben Johnson? We've never seen him be a head coach before, right? It's always something. Either they're on the brink of collapse, or they're going to win the Super Bowl. Okay? That's why you really have to find, I'm not even trying to sell myself here, but you have to find honest, grounded discussions. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's ugly. Sometimes Caleb is balling. Sometimes he made a big mistake and he's a big reason they lost. Right? Sometimes Ben Johnson has absolutely unbelievable play calling. Sometimes not so much. Hey, that was a mistake. I don't think you should have done that. You should have called a timeout. You should have kicked a field goal. Right? It's hard to always figure out the reality of the situation. And little things like this, where we just say, oh, the strength of schedule. It's over. It's done. We're in trouble. The way I look at it is that when you have an easier schedule, you can absolutely take advantage of that. When you're a great team, you can obviously take advantage of it. But if you're a truly great team, a truly special team, the schedule doesn't matter to me as much because you're either great or you're not. You're either a Super Bowl contender or you're not. You're either going to win or you're not. And there are enough games in a regular season that if you're truly great, you will win enough games to get into the playoffs, right? It's one thing if these strength of schedule margins were so tiny that a strength of schedule could literally knock out a legitimate Super Bowl contender, right? But that's not the case. Or if you had to win the division to get into the playoffs and that's it, no wild card round, no wild card seeds, nothing like that, then I could understand, because then it's like, well, Detroit has an easier schedule than the Bears, so the margin for error is much smaller. If the Bears slip even the slightest bit, it's easier for the Lions to win the division. But that's not how it works now. I'm on the record saying that I think right now, strength of schedule is going to be incredibly misleading because I think a lot of teams are competitive. I think a lot of teams are competitive, and even teams we would normally look at as an easy win, they're harder now. Again, that's not to say they're automatically going to start winning games, but it's going to be harder. And yes, if you have an easier schedule, it's for sure an advantage. And if you're competing for a wild card spot or for the division, yes, the easier the schedule, the bigger the advantage. No doubt about it. But to me, at the end of the day, if you're truly legit, if you're truly a Super Bowl team, I think about this all the time because everyone always tries to game playoff matchups, and I always try to think of what's more entertaining or interesting, but they always say, oh, this is a tough matchup in the wild card, or the Bills really don't want to face the Texans in the wild card round. They'd prefer to face the Jaguars or something. My mindset is always, well, you're either a top team or you're not. You either can beat that team or you can't. If you can't, then I don't care when you play them or who else knocks them out. I'm looking at you through the lens of, can you win a Super Bowl or not? Not, can you win a playoff game right now? Not, who are you more likely to beat in the divisional round versus the wild card round? It's, are you a Super Bowl contender or not? Are you great or not? Are you special or not? Right? We always do this. Oh, I don't know, do the Eagles really want to play the Rams? This was in 2024. That's a tough matchup. And it's like, you either can compete with the Rams or you can't. That was the same thing with facing someone in the Super Bowl. Oh, it would have been really beneficial for the Bills to knock out the Chiefs. And it's like, no. You either can beat the Bills, beat the Chiefs, beat T. He Ravens, beat whoever. That's what it comes down to. You either can beat them or you can't. That's what it gets boiled down to, man. You're either the best team or you're not. You're either the Super Bowl winner or you're not. That's how it works. That's how this thing works. So when people get too hung up on strength of schedule, it's like, well, how good of a team are you, and what are you trying to accomplish? Yes, if you're an up-and-coming team trying to right the ship, you're the New York Giants, strength of schedule matters. If there's an easier schedule, it goes an incredibly long way. It can really help build an exciting season and a favorable matchup. Oh, the 49ers are a little banged up. I'd love to face them in the wild card. I get it, because I'm not necessarily looking at them through a Super Bowl lens right now. But if you're looking at the truly top teams in the NFL, the teams that truly win year after year after year, who have won Super Bowls or who are right on the brink of Super Bowls, it's either good enough or not. You either can get it done or you can't. Yes or no? That's what it boils down to. So to get too hung up or to feel that strength of schedule is this big grandiose thing, look at the Patriots. People always used strength of schedule against them to hurt their argument. And it's like, you're either good enough or you're not. And they weren't. They got rocked in the Super Bowl. And it's like, okay, there you go. But it obviously helped them a little bit. Helped them get through. So it can kind of swing both ways. But if you're trying to really evaluate whether a team can collapse or something, like, is this going to be a devastating blow? It's like, well, you're either good enough to win it all or you're not. And that's the lens we look at the Chicago Bears through now. Are you good enough to win it all? Not, have you righted the ship? That's done. Bears are back on track, baby. Ushered in a new era. We're not just trying to look at the Bears through the lens of, can they win the division? Can they win a playoff game? Can they reach an NFC championship game? It's like, no. Who are you right now? Are you great? Are you a Super Bowl contender? Are you ready to be dominant? Caleb, are you ready to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? What do we have here? That's what it's all about right now. That's not what it was about last year. Last year was about righting the ship. Last year I was like, okay, can we feel like we're moving in the right direction? Can we feel like Caleb and Ben Johnson are it? That they are the coach-quarterback duo? And the answer was yes. So now the next step is, how great are you? How special are you, right? Are you the Kansas City Chiefs, or are you the Baltimore Ravens, or are you the Cincinnati Bengals? Are you the 49ers? Right? Who are you? A team that kind of phases in and out? Are you a little bit of the Jacksonville Jaguars? Are you the Houston Texans? Who are you? Philadelphia IA Eagles? Which one are you, right? Where are you going to land on that spectrum of competitiveness and greatness? Because we've got teams that have consistently been competitive, like the Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, but haven't achieved greatness. Then we've got teams like the Eagles and the Chiefs, achieved greatness, winning Super Bowls. And then you've got teams like the Ravens, the Bills, and the Bengals who are like, we're so close, but we can't do it. Strength of schedule means very little when you're trying to have that conversation. Very little. So those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Chicago Bears? How do you interpret strength of schedule, and how does all of that land with you? Because again, I don't want to act like it means nothing on a week-to-week, day-to-day basis for how successful a team can be. But I guess for me, when we look at it from a larger, more top-down perspective, when we're trying to use that as a frame of reference for how a team can collapse, let's say the Bears don't make the playoffs, or they do collapse, and we say, well, their schedule was so hard, it's like, well, then you weren't good enough. That's kind of how I make sense of it. So I'm curious how it makes sense for all of you guys. Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.